Hello everyone, welcome back. Midnight Mirage here, and today we'll be talking about Chrysocolla. First school assignment, we had to make a story, and I thought I would do one about Chrysocolla. We were supposed to have like 400 words, so it's not very long, but we also needed to have 6 to 8 images. And because I'm gonna be busy this week, I thought I would show you these instead of cramming in a new drawing. Our story starts off with the introduction to Chrysocolla. He's fighting in the war like he usually does, trying to be accepted even though he's a hybrid. You can see here that the Sandwing is scared to fight him because he's a good fighter, and there's also a Sandwing and Icewing fighting in the back because they're not the only ones fighting in this battle. When drawing the Icewing in the back, I was picturing like a cat being threatened and hissing with their back arced. You can sort of see it, but again, they're in the background and blocked by Chrysocolla, so not as obvious. I also tried to make the dragons in the back darker so that your focus would be on the dragons in the front, which is where I would like the main focus to be. We still have the thing where Chrysocolla doesn't like to fight, but he still does to be accepted by his tribe. Then something really weird happens. The war ends. Suddenly, all Chrysocolla has ever known is thrown out the window. He does not need to fight dragons every day. He does not need to worry about hurting more dragons. And then something even weirder happened. He had to go to school. Even more bizarre, the dragons didn't hate him. Some of them even tried to talk to him. One of them being Mink, never being accepted by his tribe except for when he fought. And Icewing talking to him was not normal, and it took a while to adjust to. Then we get introduced to the rest of the characters. There's Adventure Seeker, who just doesn't want to be here. Pond, who is scared to speak up. Drought, who is very protective of what he has. And there's also Autumn, who is just a chill Skywing. Chrysocolla doesn't really know what to do in this situation, so he's like, should we head to class? And so they do. But over the school year, he got to know his clawmates much better. Drought wasn't just some paranoid Sandwing. He was a Sandwing who had lost too much and was just holding on to what he had left. Adventure Seeker was actually super thankful he could go to school, but felt he needed to lie to fit in. Otherwise, no one would respect him as a Nightwing. Pond thought it would be better to stay quiet to avoid conflict, and Autumn actually didn't like fighting either, but strongly believed it was necessary. There was also a lot of change in the group. Drought slowly grew more trusting of his new friends, and Adventure Seeker started to look on the bright side more often, and being himself. Pond started to speak up a lot more to make her voice known. Chrysocolla started using better posture to avoid making himself look smaller, and he didn't hold back on conversations. Over time, a bond formed between all of them, and they'd do anything for each other. Finally, after years of fighting and to be accepted, Chrysocolla was. But it was in the most unexpected way possible. It wasn't because of fighting, but rather because of who he was. And that's my story. You'll notice as you go on in the story, the drawings have less and less detail, because I was running out of time and just couldn't put in that much effort. Mink in this drawing here just doesn't have the right perspective, but I didn't want to deal with that, so I just didn't. But anyways, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.